world around us is accelerating. Technology-enabled forces are disrupting markets and transforming business models on a global basis. We call this the accelerating business environment. In this slidecast, we would like to share with you what we've learned from our ongoing research, including a recent survey of senior business decision makers about how business strategy is changing due to this accelerating business environment. My name is Randall Hancock. I am the founder and CEO of MangoStrategy, a strategy enablement firm focused on helping businesses anticipate, assess, and address the changes brought about by the accelerating business environment. Please visit our website at www.acceleratingbiz.com to learn more and provide your feedback. Let's start by summarizing the overall findings from research we have recently completed on strategy in the accelerating business environment. Our research finds that the roles and impact of business strategy are evolving as markets accelerate. We've organized this slidecast around 5 key areas. First, how technology-enabled trends, which we call accelerators, are increasing rates of innovation and socioeconomic change. Next, the ways that these accelerators are disrupting markets and industries on a global basis. Third, in response to these market disruptions, how business models are transforming rapidly. We then discuss how business strategy is evolving to keep up with this accelerating change. And finally, we provide a brief overview of MangoStrategy and the solutions we provide to help businesses anticipate, assess, and address the changes brought about by the accelerating business environment. Before getting into the details, let's spend a moment reviewing what we mean by the accelerating business environment. We believe that technology-enabled accelerators, a set of scientific, product innovation, economic, and societal forces, are disrupting markets, causing profound changes to customers, competitors, and the broader business environment. These disruptions are transforming business models, resulting in significant changes to revenue streams, cost structures, and the underlying ways companies do business. Transformed business models, creating greater value at higher efficiency, are in turn driving continued growth in the accelerators. Every indication is that this cycle will continue to accelerate. To better understand what companies think about and how they're addressing the accelerating business environment, we conducted a survey of decision makers across a variety of organization sizes and industries, with a focus on senior executives, management team members, and consultants. I would like to tell you what we learned from this and other research we have completed. Our story begins with accelerators. Multiple technology-enabled forces are accelerating innovation and socioeconomic change on a global basis. In order to better understand what is happening, we organized these accelerators into 7 distinct yet interrelated groups. Underlying everything are exponentially advancing digital technologies. You might think of these in the context of Moore's Law, named after the co-founder of Intel, who predicted in 1965 that the number of transistors on integrated circuits would double every 2 years. History has shown that Moore's Law applies not only to processing power, but also to other digital technologies, like memory and storage, network bandwidth, and software functionality. Connecting everything refers to how people, businesses, and things are all being connected to each other via the internet, on both a fixed and a mobile basis. The proliferation of technology is contributing to another accelerator, globalizing everywhere, resulting in offshoring and distributed business production, new growth markets, and economic convergence among countries. Biology is rapidly converging with digital technologies, giving rise to bioinformatics, in which biology becomes programmable, much like computers. 3D printing, robotics, and other technologies are revolutionizing manufacturing, creating the do-it-yourself maker revolution and promising to bring offshored manufacturing back home. Progressing material sciences, such as nanomaterials, are signaling breakthroughs in areas ranging from aeronautics to energy to medicine. And Racing for Sustainability describes how the growing challenges of climate change, pollution, and resource depletion are being offset by green tech innovations in renewable energy, efficient buildings, cleaner transportation, and sustainable industry practices. In our ongoing research on the accelerating business environment, we find plenty of evidence supporting these technology-enabled accelerators. As an example of exponentially advancing digital technologies, take the cost of RAM computer memory. $1, which bought about 100 bits of memory back in 1970, is forecasted to buy nearly 10 billion bits, or 10 gigabits, by 2018, increasing by a factor of 100 million times in fewer than 50 years. Worldwide smartphone and tablet shipments, part of connecting everything, grew from 297 million annually in 2010 to a forecasted 1.1 billion annually by 2015. And by the way, tablets did not really even exist before 2011. The size of the global offshore services market, an indicator of globalizing everywhere, has grown from $74 billion back in 2006 to a forecasted $268 billion by 2016. And the cost of sequencing the DNA of a human genome, a driver for rising bioinformatics, has decreased from nearly $100 million in 2001 to a bit more than $10,000 in 2013. This is a decrease of 4 orders of magnitude in just a dozen years. As an example of revolutionizing manufacturing, annual shipments of industrial robots increased from 53,000 in 1993 to nearly 160,000 by 2012. With Google and others entering the market, we expect these numbers to grow much more in the coming years. The number of nanotechnology-related patents in the United States, a sign of progressing material sciences, grew over 100 times in the last 2 decades, from only 10 patent applications each year in 1983 to 1,665 by 2010. And regarding the race for sustainability, total annual global carbon emissions tripled from 11.7 billion tons in 1965 to 34.5 billion tons in 2012. During this period, carbon emissions from the Asia-Pacific region increased nearly 4 times faster. There is no doubt about it. Technology is driving dramatic changes, and these changes increasingly are growing exponentially. Not surprisingly then, these technology-driven accelerators are creating substantial implications for today's businesses. In fact, in our recent survey of senior business decision makers, 85% told us that their industry is changing faster today than it was 5 years ago, with half of them responding that their industry is changing significantly faster. When asked which of these technology-enabled accelerators are having the largest impact on their businesses, 70% identified network connectivity as having a large or critical impact, followed by 58% for exponentially advancing digital technologies and 55% for globalization. While sustainability, bioinformatics, manufacturing automation, and material sciences are identified less frequently overall, they remain high for decision makers within relevant industries like energy, healthcare, and manufacturing. Most of the decision makers believe that accelerators like network connectivity, digital technologies, and globalization have a somewhat to extremely positive impact on their businesses, citing things like the ability to connect with customers via social media, to improve operational efficiencies through digital technologies, and to pursue business opportunities on a global basis. Let's next explore how these technology-enabled accelerators are disrupting markets. Our research on the accelerating business environment finds that technology-enabled accelerators are disrupting markets and industries on a global basis. Like with the accelerators, we have organized these market disruptions into distinct groups in order to better understand what is happening. Empowered customers refers to how greater information and choices are making customers, both businesses and consumers, more discriminating than ever before. Unexpected competition is about how new competitors and products are emerging from unexpected places. It's not just your traditional competitor you should worry about, but ones emerging from China or being funded right now through crowdsourcing sites like Kickstarter. Distributed innovation means that breakthroughs are no longer limited to big companies and governments, but rather take place in all sizes of organizations everywhere around the world. The manufacturing revolution is leading to fast and flexible supply chains, in which companies use a mix of both global and local manufacturing to serve markets effectively. Companies are increasingly facing imbalanced talent pools as they have too few employees with the right skills and too many with the wrong ones. Lagging government policies refer to how governments are failing to keep up with the rapid pace of these changes. And shifting financial sources recognizes that there are both new sources and structures for financing businesses. MangoStrategy's ongoing research into the accelerating business environment identifies numerous examples of how the accelerators are disrupting markets. Underlying empowered customers are the total number of global internet users, which has increased in the developed world from 11 per 100 people in 1998 to 77 out of 100 per day. And while the percent of users in the developing world is lower at 31 per 100, the rate is increasing and may eventually converge with developed countries. An example of unexpected competition is the number of companies in the Fortune Global 500 by region, with the number one spot shifting from the Americas in 2005 to EMEA, or Europe, Middle East, and Africa region, by 2008, and to Asia by 2012. Let me repeat, there are now more Fortune Global 500 companies in Asia than in all of the Americas, much less the United States. Shifts in smartphone sales by operating system illustrates distributed innovation. In 2008, the worldwide smartphone market was dominated by the BlackBerry and Symbian operating systems, which together had about 75% market share. How things change. Just 5 years later, by 2012, the top smartphone operating systems were Google's Android and Apple's iOS, with BlackBerry and Symbian retreating to single-digit shares behind up-and-coming Microsoft. Another example of distributed innovation is the increase in U.S. patents, with both patent applications and grants growing rapidly in recent years. The number of U.S. granted patents has grown from 49,000 annually in 1963 to 248,000 by 2011, with the number of patent applications growing even faster. Supply chains have become increasingly global. For example, U.S. international trade grew from $2 trillion in 1998 to nearly $5 trillion by 2012 as a result of digital technologies, network connectivity, globalization, and the expanded presence of multinational corporations. However, with the manufacturing revolution we mentioned earlier, including 3D printers and robotics, we wonder if this trend may reverse itself in the near future as manufacturing moves closer again to its home markets. As companies address the issue of imbalanced talent pools, there has been significant media discussion about the need for science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, graduates. However, in the United States, the gap between non-STEM and STEM graduates actually has become larger since 1970, with STEM graduates representing only 30% of all granted U.S. degrees today. Government policies are lagging as countries race to catch up with technology-enabled changes in areas like cybercrime, national security, privacy, gambling, and taxation. For instance, cybercrime legislation was pending in 68 out of 69 UN member countries as of early 2013. And relating to shifting financial sources, up until 2008, the US dominated worldwide financial markets with more than 50% of market capitalization. In recent years, this has shifted due to growth in Asia and elsewhere. So we asked decision makers to what degree different market disruptions are more important in their industry today than they were 5 years ago. The single biggest disruption decision makers see is empowered customers, with nearly 80% saying this disruption is somewhat to significantly higher today than 5 years ago. This is followed by unexpected competitors and products, distributed innovation, and imbalanced talent pools. But all of the market disruptions identified are evident in their responses, with even the lowest answer, shifting financial sources, coming up 41% of the time as being somewhat or significantly higher today than it was 5 years ago. While we're on the topic of market disruptions, we also asked decision makers what they think about the ultimate market disruption, which is the concept of the technology singularity. We define the technology singularity as the point in the future in which exponentially advancing technologies enable the emergence of artificial intelligence, profoundly changing the world as we know it. The answers given by decision makers surprised even us. 57% say that they believe the singularity will happen sometime between now and the next 20 years, while another 29% think that the singularity will happen beyond 20 years from now. Only 4% say that the singularity will never happen. Clearly, most decision makers are preparing for substantial market disruptions in the near to moderate future. The third area I want to discuss with you is about transforming business models. In response to technology-enabled accelerators and market disruptions, our research shows that business models are transforming rapidly. And these transformations are fueling even further change, causing the accelerating business environment cycle to continually speed up. To better describe how business models are transforming, we started with the Business Model Canvas framework made popular through the open source book, Business Model Generation. MangoStrategy's ongoing research is focused on understanding how business models are transforming across every component of the business model canvas. So what do decision makers think about business model transformation? Well, 79% believe that their company is experiencing significant to dramatic change in at least one component of their business model, with the remaining 21% characterizing limited to moderate change. No one says that they are experiencing no change to their business model. Perhaps what is even more interesting is the degree to which these changes are happening across multiple components of business models. For example, more than half of the decision makers indicate that their company is experiencing significant or dramatic change in 4 or more components of their business model, as defined by the Business Model Canvas. We think these are quite extraordinary findings. What business model components are experiencing the most change? By far the most frequently mentioned component is value propositions, with 69% indicating their company is experiencing significant to dramatic change in this area. This is followed by distribution channels, partners, cost structures, and customer relationships. Even within the lowest business model component of change, which was resources, a meaningful 29% claim significant to dramatic change. The overall finding? Not only are business models transforming rapidly, but this transformation is happening across multiple components of business models and is not limited to any single area. Given the technology-enabled accelerators, the market disruptions, and the business model transformations that we've just discussed, what are the implications then for the role of strategy in the accelerating business environment? We asked decision makers what they think. More than half of decision makers, 57%, believe that strategic research and strategy development are more important today than 5 years ago. In particular, many people emphasize the need for breakthrough insights to develop new and compelling solutions and the importance of innovating in order to deliver value. More than 95% of the decision makers say that they monitor and assess market trends and events, with 62% indicating that they do this on a real-time or weekly basis. However, it's not clear how effective these monitoring processes are, and if they are providing businesses with the insights needed to anticipate, assess, and address the accelerating business environment successfully. When asked about the relative importance of different aspects of the strategy process, 86% believe that understanding customers, competitors, and the broader business environment is very critically important. Other aspects of the strategy process that are also very critically important include executing and monitoring progress, gaining management team alignment, and analyzing company capabilities, resources, and gaps. We also asked how frequently their businesses undertook different types of strategic research, strategy development, and executive facilitation projects. The most frequent activity given is competitor assessments, which are completed by 82% of businesses surveyed at least once per year. This is followed closely by customer needs identification and segmentation, technology trends analysis, and business partner profiles. Other common projects include industry landscapes, value chain analyses, and legal and regulatory assessments. Only 54% of decision makers indicate that their business undertakes a complete strategy project at least once per year, while 49% say that they conduct a facilitated executive strategy workshop at least annually. Meaning, nearly half of all businesses are not adjusting their overall strategies on a year-to-year basis to keep up with the changes brought about by the accelerating business environment. In terms of how strategy is developed or strategic decisions made, by far the most frequent response is informal executive meetings, chosen by 84% of decision makers. This is followed by 64% using project staff by internal resources, 60% integrating strategy with their annual planning processes, and 47% using facilitated working sessions. About 1/3 of decision makers say that they regularly use external consultants to develop their business strategies or make strategic decisions. When asked specifically about the types of resources companies use to develop strategies or conduct strategic research, by far the most common answer is internal staff and resources at 94%. This is followed by independent consultants, about half, then market research firms, small or boutique consulting firms, and subscription-based research firms. The majority of decision makers say that their companies currently do not use large business consulting firms, strategic research providers, or the Big Four audit firms. Insights provided are the most important criteria when evaluating the use of external strategy consulting and strategic research providers, with 83% saying that this is very or extremely important. This is followed by industry knowledge, strategy research or analysis expertise, and the ease of doing business. Perhaps surprisingly, fewer than half of decision makers place a very or extremely important rating on cost of services, relationships with consultants, reputation of firm, or fast turnaround time. And only 8% say that breadth of offerings is very or extremely important, leading us to believe that businesses increasingly are using specialist firms rather than broad-based consultancies to support their strategy development processes. In the final few minutes, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about MangoStrategy. MangoStrategy believes companies both want and need to own their strategy development activities, especially in the rapidly changing accelerating business environment. Based on this strongly held belief, we provide what we call Strategy Enablement Solutions, designed explicitly to support companies in their strategy development and decision-making processes with an emphasis on anticipating, assessing, and addressing the accelerating business environment. How do we do this? MangoStrategy helps companies anticipate how technology-enabled accelerators are disrupting their markets and transforming relevant business models through ongoing strategy scans, provided as needed on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis. Our strategic research and analysis solutions are designed to help decision makers assess rapidly evolving markets, industries, competitors, partners, technologies, and government regulations. We provide strategy facilitation services to support executive teams as they address opportunities and challenges, including developing and aligning around strategies, execution plans, and performance metrics. We also help businesses differentiate themselves through the development and dissemination of valuable public content that positions companies as thought leaders. Our AcceleratingBiz website at www.acceleratingbiz.com provides a wealth of free resources designed to help you anticipate, assess, and address the accelerating business environment. The site includes ongoing intelligence updates, research sources, perspectives, and a community of like-minded decision makers. We hope you will join this community. To maximize the value we provide to our clients, MangoStrategy is developing the world's leading structured knowledge bases on accelerating business strategic content. This includes not only the ongoing intelligence updates provided for free on our website, but the underlying data, charts, business model profiles, assessments, and much more that we leverage to help our clients. Finally, we try to practice what we preach. consisting of a global delivery model with both onshore and offshore professionals, the extensive use of cloud-based analysis and collaboration technologies, skilled strategic research teams, and in-depth expertise on the accelerating business environment. In conclusion, the world around us is accelerating. Technology-enabled forces are disrupting markets and transforming business models on a global basis. As a result, the role of business strategy is evolving to allow companies to anticipate, assess, and address the changes brought about by this accelerating business environment. Our journey is just beginning, as we have much more to learn in the coming months and years. We invite you to join the Accelerating Biz community at www.acceleratingbiz.com to continue with us on this journey. Thank you for your time.